A volcano is a hill, mountain, or fissure from which molten or hot rocks with gaseous materials are ejected. The term also applies to a crater formed by removal of pre-existing materials or hill or mountain formed by accumulation or ejected materials.
According to Peebles, its hazards include first, pyroclastic flow, which the fast turbulent flow of fragmented volcanic materials such as ash and rock mixed with hot gases which can burn everything along its path. Second, lava flow or the flow of molten rock material. Third is ash or tempera fall. Fourth is lahars, and fifth is volcanic gases.
Volcanoes typically form near the margins of tectonic plates, or the moving fragments, of the Earth's crust and upper mantle. Some volcanoes are formed by magma that literally shoots up from the mantle through the crust to form hotspot volcanoes.
In a volcanic eruption, various hazards can be experienced, including lava flows, pyroclastic flows, ashfall, and volcanic gases. The source of these dangers is the eruption of molten rock, ash, and gases from a volcano. People living near the volcano, as well as tourists and nearby communities, can be affected by the risk. Volcanic eruptions can occur unpredictably, but certain signs may precede them. The severity and extent of impact depend on factors like the volcano's size and proximity to populated areas. Communities may have varying capacities to address the challenge or risk, with some having better preparedness measures and resources in place than others. Emergency response planning. Develop emergency response plans that specify roles and responsibilities of various agencies and organizations. Know the community's safety plans by monitoring the latest advisories and warnings. Knowing the location of the evacuation site, identifying safe evacuation routes, emergency shelter, and assembly points, and locating which areas are covered by danger zones. Second, prepare all necessary things to bring in case of evacuation, such as gas mask or a clean cloth, candles, matches, flashlights, extra batteries, and don't forget to prepare your disaster kit ahead of time. Second, each person should be aware of the dangers of volcanic eruptions. Volcanic eruptions are expected to cause ash falls, which in turn could harm humans, animals, plants, equipment, and structures. Beyond that, fine volcanic ash is also often respirable, which can cause pulmonary diseases if inhaled over a prolonged period of time. What to do during a volcanic eruption? First, is in the event of a volcanic eruption, remain calm and stay indoors. Cover your nose and mouth with a damp, clean cloth or dust mask to reduce inhalation of ash particles. Second is close all windows and doors in your house and vehicles to prevent ash from entering. Third, tune in to a reliable radio station for updates and developments regarding the volcanic eruption. Lastly, fourth is cover water containers and food items to prevent contamination from volcanic ash.
Volcanic ash are very fine particles of rock erupted explosively in the thin air by volcano. Because of its fine size, abrasive and corrosive nature, ash can threaten the health of a people and livestock, pose hazard to flying airplanes, damage electronics and machinery, interrupt services and utilities such as power, water supply, and communication.
Listen to the radio for updates from authorities if there is an impending eruption that may cause ashfall. Prepare your emergency kit and place it in an accessible area. Prepare dust mask or clean cloth for covering the nose and goggles for eye protection.
Stay calm. Stay indoors. Cover your nose and mouth with damp, clean cloth or dust mask. Close all windows and doors of your house and your car. Listen to the radio for updates or developments regarding on the volcanic eruption. And lastly, cover water containers and foods to avoid contamination from ash.
Here's what to do after a volcanic eruption. As soon as the ash fall diminishes, scrape off the ash that has accumulated in the rooftops to prevent collapse. Next, after removing the ash, clean the roof and gutter to prevent corrosion. Next is to remove the ash from windows and doors of the house and car. Collect the ashes and put them in an area far from water drainage to avoid clogging. And lastly, use a vacuum cleaner or shake the furniture to loosen and clean the ash. Cover your nose and mouth while cleaning.
An earthquake causes the Earth's surface to shake violently. Movement in the outermost layer of the Earth is what is causing the shaking. Since tectonic plates are constantly moving slowly, friction causes them to become impermeable at their borders. An earthquake occurs when the stress on the edge exceeds the friction, releasing energy and waves that flow through the Earth's crust and produce a shaking experience. Seismic waves, which are vibrations that flow through the Earth, carry an earthquake's energy. Seismometers are tools used by scientists to measure seismic waves. A seismometer picks up seismic waves below and records them as zigzag patterns. Seismometer data can be used by scientists to pinpoint time, place, and strength of an earthquake. Hello, this is Maki. Today, we're going to talk about what you can do before, during, and after an earthquake to keep yourself and loved ones safe. Let's start with what you should do before an earthquake. Step 1. Preparedness. First and foremost, it is essential to be prepared. Have an emergency kit with essentials like food, water, flashlight, and first aid supplies. Ensure your family has a communication plan in place. Secure heavy items. Secure heavy objects like bookshelves, appliances, water heaters to prevent them from falling during the shaking. Know how to turn off gas, water, and electricity in your home. Step 3. Identify safe spots. Identify safe spots in your home or workplace where you can take cover during an earthquake. Remember, the safest places are under sturdy furniture or against interior walls away from the windows. Step 4. Practice drills. Conduct earthquake drills with your family or colleagues. Practice the drop, the cover, and hold on. This will help everyone know what to do when it counts. Now, let's discuss what to do during an earthquake. If you find yourself in an earthquake, remember to stay calm and follow these steps. Step 1. Drop, cover, and hold. Drop to the ground. Take cover under a sturdy place or furniture and hold on until the shaking. Take cover under a sturdy place or furniture and hold on until the shaking stops. If you can find cover, cover your head and neck with your arms and seek shelter against an interior wall away from the windows. Step 2. Stay indoors. Do not attempt to run outside. It's safer to stay indoors. Flying debris and falling objects pose significant. Step 3. Watch for falling objects. Beware of your surroundings. Watch out for falling objects like books, glass, and ceiling fixtures. If possible, protect your head and neck with your arms. Step 4. Listen for updates. Listen for updates and instructions from local authorities.
through a battery-powered radio or your phone. Lastly, here's what you should do after an earthquake. After the shaking stops, follow these steps. Step 1. Check for injuries. Check yourself and others for injuries. Provide first aid if necessary. Call for medical help if needed. Step 2. Inspect your surroundings. Inspect your surroundings for hazards like gas, leaks, fires, or structural damage. If you smell gas, turn off the supply and leave the building. Step 3. Evacuate if necessary. If your home or building is deemed unsafe, evacuate to an open area away from structures, trees, and utility wires.
There are numerous numbers of hazards that can be experienced in earthquakes. These include ground shakings, landslides, liquefaction, and in some areas, tsunamis. These primary hazards often produce secondary hazards such as ruptured utility lines, hazardous spills, and fires. Buildings can crumble or collapse, trapping people inside and burying streets in rubble. The source of these dangers could be the earthquake itself, or by the man-made structures themselves and the shaking they receive from the earthquake. The people are mostly affected during earthquakes, including the potential breaking or collapsing of the structures made for people. This includes houses, apartments, commercial buildings, nursing homes, railroads, highways, tunnels, and etc. Just like volcanoes, earthquakes can also occur unpredictably. But signs like sudden large jolts and shaking of the ground can let you know that there could possibly be an earthquake happening. Earthquakes can result in the ground shaking, soil liquefaction, landslides, fissures, avalanches, fires, and tsunamis. But it still depends on the magnitude, intensity, and the duration of the earthquake. We cannot say that all communities have the same capacities to address certain challenges or risks. Some could have a different approach on how they prepare for these challenges and their resources.
This video aims to inform, educate, and spread awareness on people on how to be prepared on a disaster and what to do before, during, and after calamities to ensure safety to all the people.
We're looking at these pictures, we can see something is ablaze there on the ground as this very strange wave of mud and debris with boats included and cars and all sorts of things. It's when you see something like this, Ivan, unfold before your very eyes that you get an idea of there's nowhere to run when you have something like that coming so fast toward you. And of course, you know, it appears to be fairly slow.
Did you hear that a tsunami just happened recently in a country right next to us?
Oh my God! That's devastating! What are we going to do? We might die! Remember what happened in Japan in 2011, which caused the death of 15,950 people? We need to be prepared!
Sure, a tsunami is scary because we might have flooding, wave impacts, erosions, and strong currents. And it's very scary with the magnitude exceeds 8.0 because we might die and our house might be also turned into just a pile of junk.
This is the reason why I don't want to live near the ocean or subduction zones.
That's why we need to prepare a go bag for the tsunami because it might happen to us.
But what should we put in our go bag?
Our go bag should contain canned goods, water, important documents like birth certificate, and don't forget a hygiene kit and extra clothes, emergency contact information, and medicine.
Good point. That's right. Those are very essential. But how can we know that a tsunami will happen? What are the signs that a tsunami will happen?
If the water recedes unusually far, exposing the seafloor and unusual ocean behavior.
Oh, thanks for the info, Jet. I need to head home now. Thank you.
Hey, I am Brisbane for school today. The sea seems very serene.
What do you mean by strange?
The water is unusually far, and the ocean behavior is unusual and weird. Grab your bags and tell Mom and Dad that we're going to evacuate. A tsunami is going to happen.
It's not funny. High planes for safety right now.
Let's go back home before we run out of time. Is everyone here okay? Is anyone injured?
Can you call our relatives to check if they are okay?
Sure, wait.
I think we should go now. Tsunami has passed. No, I think we should stay. An aftershock might happen.
We should go if the government officials declare it is final state.
Tito and Tita said that they're okay. We should stay here for a bit longer because an aftershock might happen.
Thank goodness we were prepared. Imagine if we weren't.
Yeah, I extremely agree. We might have serious injuries, or worse, die if we're not prepared for a tsunami.
Thank goodness we were prepared. Being prepared for a tsunami is important. Imagine if we weren't prepared.
That is why we should prepare for a tsunami, because if we're prepared, we might die.